Hello, all my dear student friends. Welcome to this session. I am Professor M.P. Palaskar. I welcome all the students studying in the third semester of the program Mechanical Engineering, and our course is Engineering Metrology. Today we are going to study the third chapter, Limits, Fits, Tolerances and Gauges. So in this chapter, what will be studied primarily is about the tolerances. So in the industries, we are manufacturing various components, and the dimensions, the size and the shapes as well as the texture of all these components is mentioned specifically in the drawings. Now it is not possible to manufacture all these components exactly according to the specified sizes and the shapes as well as the texture. There are several reasons why this is not possible, due to some material problems, due to the machine problems, or due to the operator skill problems. Therefore, we have to make some compromise with the exactness, with the accuracy of the various sizes, and with the exactness of the various shapes and the textures of the various components. But at the same time, we must also see that the functional requirement of these components is properly achieved. So the compromise in the quality, the compromise in the exactness of the shape, and in the accuracy of the size should not affect the functional requirement of that particular object. After assembly of the various components, the object should function in the appropriate way. So if that is achieved, then we can make some compromise in the exactness of the size and the accuracy of the dimension, so that the cost can be reduced. So let us start with some basic terms. Let us study some basic terms, the basic terminology which we are going to use in this chapter number 3, Limits, Fits, Tolerances and Gauges. First of all, the basic size. The basic size is the specified standard size of a part, that size of the part which is specified in the drawing. Before manufacturing and before inspection, the size, a particular size of a particular component is specified. That is the basic size, and this size is specified. With reference to this specification, all the limits of variations of size are determined. So basic size is the specified standard size of a part, with reference to which all the limits of variations of size are determined. Now this basic size is same for both hole as well as its corresponding mating member, which is called as shaft. So in assembly we are having two members, two components, and one component just fit into the other component. So these two components are called as the dimensions which match, they are called as the hole as well as the shaft. So the basic size of the hole and the shaft is determined before manufacturing, and that is specified before manufacturing as well as before inspection. As basic size is specified before the production or inspection, it is also called as the true value of the size. Now what is the actual size? It is the actual measured value of the size of the manufactured job. So whatever job is being manufactured, after manufacturing we are measuring that particular dimension, that particular size of that particular manufactured job by some measuring device, and that measured value is nothing but the actual size of that particular dimension. Therefore it is also called as the measured value. Actual size is also called as the measured value of the size of the dimension. Few more terms we are going to study. The zero line. So the line corresponding to the basic size is called as the zero line. So the basic size we already defined. So the line which corresponds to the basic size is called as the zero line. It is the line of zero deviation. At this line, the deviation of the size of the dimension is zero. In the graphical representation of limits and fits, all the deviations are shown with respect to the zero line or the basic size. So there are some deviations in the dimension. So these dimensions, these variations, these deviations are shown with respect to the zero line, and the deviations, the variations are with respect to the basic size. Basic size is represented by the zero line, or the zero line is the line corresponding to the basic size. The positive deviations are shown above the zero line, whereas the negative deviations are shown below the zero line. So whatever deviations are positive, so of course they will be shown above the zero line, and obviously the negative deviations will be shown below the zero line. Hole. Hole is a term used to specify the internal features of a part. Some internal dimension is called as hole. So this is nothing but a specification, and it is used to specify the internal features, the internal dimensions, whether that internal feature may be cylindrical or not. It is not necessary that that internal feature should be cylindrical in shape. Shaft is a term used to specify the external features of a part, the external dimensions, the outside dimensions are called as shaft dimensions, whereas the inside dimensions are called as the hole dimensions. Now these dimensions need not be cylindrical always. They may be cylindrical or they may not be cylindrical in shape. Now what is the tolerance? Tolerance is the algebraic difference between the maximum limit and the minimum limit of a hole or a shaft. That means of a dimension. So the dimension varies. The dimension may have some maximum value and it may have some minimum value. The dimension is allowed to vary according to the functional requirement. So the maximum limit up to which this dimension is allowed to vary, and the minimum limit, that algebraic difference is called as the tolerance. The maximum deviation allowed is called as the tolerance. Deviation may be maximum deviation or minimum deviation. So again, the algebraic difference between the maximum deviation and the minimum deviation is called as the tolerance. Tolerance is also defined as difference between upper deviation and lower deviation. So we have to take the algebraic difference between the upper deviation and the lower deviation. So that is also the definition of the word tolerance. So this tolerance is having an absolute value. It is not having any algebraic sign. It is never positive or negative. It is having only magnitude. So what is the tolerance? Total tolerance, total allowable deviation is nothing but the tolerance. So tolerance is neither plus or minus. So with the help of this graph we can study the tolerance, the upper deviation and the lower deviation. So this line is called as the datum line or the reference line. At this level the dimension is 0, the size is 0 at this level. If you take the basic size, this is the basic size from 0 to the 0 line, the size is the basic size. So this 0 line represents the basic size. So try to understand the difference between 0 line and the reference line or datum line. So datum line or reference line represent 0 size, but this 0 line represent basic size. 0 line doesn't represent 0 size. 0 line will represent the basic size of that particular component, that particular dimension. Now this is the tolerance which is specified to this particular basic size. So this tolerance is lying above the 0 line, right? So here up to this much, this is above, again it goes like this here. So from here, from the datum line or the reference line to the lower portion, that is the lower limit of the size, and up to here this is the higher limit, and the difference between higher limit and lower limit is the tolerance, and this from this point to this point it is the tolerance zone. So the basic size is also called as the true value. This is the basic size which is also called as the true value, and the actual size is called as the measured value. So the actual size is allowed to lie in this tolerance zone. So the actual size should be more than the lower limit and it should be less than the higher limit. Actual size in this case cannot be even equal to basic size. It should be more than the lower limit of size and it should be less than the higher limit of the size. Then we can say that the actual size lies in the tolerance zone and that is acceptable. So again this is the 0 line, tolerance zone. Now you can see that this lower limit is deviated from the 0 line. So from here to here, this distance or this value is called as the lower deviation. This is called as the lower deviation, and from to here, this is the upper deviation. So this is the maximum deviation possible, allowed. So it is called as the upper deviation from 0 line to this maximum limit, that is the upper deviation, and from the 0 line to this lower limit is the lower deviation, and the difference between the higher limit and the lower limit is the tolerance. This is the higher limit, this is the lower limit. So this is the maximum dimension which can be allowed, and this is the minimum dimension which can be allowed. So this difference is the tolerance. Now what is the need of tolerance? In actual practice, it is never possible to make a part or component exactly same as per the given specified size, as per the given specified dimension. We cannot manufacture any component exactly according to the specifications. Any size cannot be manufactured exactly according to the specified size or the specified dimensions. And we are also not having a very accurate measuring device which can measure that size exactly. If by chance we are able to manufacture that particular size exactly, we don't have any measuring device measuring instrument or a method of measurement which can measure that size up to that accuracy, that perfectness, it is not possible. So no measuring instrument or method of measurement is available which will show accurate size of the component which is manufactured. Therefore it is difficult, rather impossible, to produce a part to an exact size. We cannot manufacture a particular part to an exact size according to the exact specifications, and there are some reasons for this. The properties of the material may vary. So whatever material is available may not be perfect, its properties may vary, and due to that this may also lead to the variation in the sizes. Then the machines which manufacture, they may also have some inaccuracies. So the machines always are not very perfect. There is always wear and tear in the various parts of the machine. Whatever size of the job we get at the beginning when we start the machine cannot be obtained when the machine is running continuously after some hours. So there is a wear and tear, and some settings are changed slightly. So due to that there are variations in the size which are manufactured, and the machines may not be very accurate. And moreover, all the operators are not having the same skill level. Some operators are skilled, some operators are unskilled. So the skilled operators can manufacture to a good accuracy, whereas unskilled operators cannot manufacture, cannot give the required accuracy. And even if we manufacture, after manufacturing, the measurements are also not possible. So this is one more important reason why exact manufacturing of the exact size is not possible, because exact measurements are also not possible. The measuring devices may also have their own inaccuracies. So due to that, exact measurement is also not possible. So if we try to overcome these factors, if we try to have a very high quality material, so that will increase the cost. If you have very accurate machines, that will also increase the cost. If you try to hire the skilled operators, their salary will be increased. So all these things will increase the cost. Even if we try to use the sophisticated measuring devices, more accurate measuring devices, that will also increase the cost of inspection and measurement, which will add to the overall production cost. So if some variations to the specified size doesn't affect the functional requirement of that component, so there is no point in unnecessarily increasing the cost. If the functional requirement of the particular component is not affected due to some variation in the specific size, we can allow some variation in the specified size if this doesn't affect the functional requirement of the component. If the functional requirement of the component is not affected, then some tolerance can be given to the basic size. So the tolerance which can be given, whether more tolerance or less tolerance, depends upon the functional requirement. So we can increase the tolerance up to the point that the functional requirement is not affected. As soon as we find that by increasing the tolerance the functional requirement is affected, we should not increase the tolerance, we should limit the tolerance. The tolerance zone should be made narrower if we find that the functional requirement is affected. But if we find that there is no effect on the functional requirement, then we can make the tolerance zone broad. We can broaden the tolerance zone so that the cost will be reduced. So due to that, the number of products which will fall inside the limits, the higher limit and lower limit, will be more, and the products falling in outside the limit will automatically be reduced. So the rejection will be reduced, the rework will be reduced, and due to the reduction in the rejection as well as the rework, the cost will be reduced. So this will lead to the reduced cost of manufacturing the component if the tolerance zone is made more broad, if we specify the tolerance, appropriate tolerance. But the component can only be marked to lie between the two limits, that is the maximum and minimum. The component should lie in between the limits, between the maximum limit and the minimum limit, which is specified after some study, after some experience about the functional requirement of that particular component. And tolerance is nothing but the difference between these two limits. Difference between maximum limit and the minimum limit is nothing but the tolerance of that particular dimension of that particular component. So the tolerance on a dimension is the difference between the higher and the lower limit of a size. Tolerance is the tolerable or allowable variation in size to overcome imperfections in workmanship and the variations amongst the grades of work according to the requirement. So in order to overcome the imperfections in the workmanship, in order to overcome the variations amongst the grades of work, we are specifying the limit. So tolerance is the tolerable or allowable variation in size. So we are allowing some variation in the size so that we can overcome the imperfections in the workmanship, imperfections and the variations amongst the grades of work according to the requirements. So the tolerance zone is defined by specifying the higher and lower limits of a dimension. The tolerance zone lies between the higher limit and the lower limit. Therefore automatically the tolerance zone is defined by specifying the higher and the lower limits of a dimension, or by specifying the upper and lower deviations with basic size of a dimensions. So either we have to give the basic size and upper and lower deviation, or we have to give the higher limit and the lower limit. So that will specify the tolerance zone. Remember, tolerance is different, tolerance zone is different. So tolerance will just tell you the magnitude of the difference between the higher limit and the lower limit. But in order to specify the tolerance zone, you should know the exact value of the higher limit as well as the value of the lower limit. So this represents, the tolerance zone represents the margin for variation in the workmanship which will be allowed without affecting the functional requirement of that particular component. So the tolerances should be selected so as to ensure reasonable and reliable operation of the manufactured parts during their normal service life. So we have to take care while selecting the tolerance. Tolerance should be selected very carefully, and we have to ensure the reliability of the operation of that particular manufactured part. That manufactured part should be reliable and it should work with some reasonable quality. The working quality, the working standard should be reasonable. Its performance should be reasonably good, and it should work properly throughout the normal service life. All this care should be taken, and accordingly the tolerance should be specified. Otherwise, what will happen is that if we specify a narrower tolerance zone, a broader tolerance zone, so as to decrease the cost, then what may happen is that the component will work for some time, but after some time it may not work properly. It will not complete its normal service life, and therefore we have to take the proper care for specifying the tolerance to a particular component. So extremely close tolerances unnecessary will increase the manufacturing cost of the part. Tolerance can also be specified or defined as the amount by which the job is allowed to go away from the accuracy and perfectness without causing any functional trouble when assembled with meeting part and the assembly is put to actual service. So we are manufacturing the components, then the assembly is done, then the function of the component is tested. We have to check the function, whether it functions properly or not, and this assembly, the service of this assembly of all the components should be good. So that has to be checked, that has to be ensured, and accordingly the tolerance has to be specified. So again we are having this particular figure which is giving the various tolerance zones and the limits, upper and lower limit, the deviations, upper deviation and the lower deviation. So let us study now this with the help of one example. So let us take the dimension whose basic size is 25, and this is the tolerance specified, tolerance zone which is specified. So the dimension is written in this particular way: 25 plus 0.01 plus 0.03. So this plus 0.01 and plus 0.03 is the tolerance, and 25 is the basic size. So the basic size is equal to 25 mm in this case, if this is the way in which the dimension along with the tolerance is specified in the drawing, then the basic size is 25 mm. So here mm is not written, but still all the dimensions in the drawings are specified in millimeters only. So no need of writing millimeter here also. So 25 mm is the basic size. Then the upper limit, so this is the tolerance zone. Okay, this is the datum line or the reference line, this is the zero line. So from the zero line to this maximum limit, this is nothing but the upper limit. So the upper limit is 25 plus 0.03. This is the upper limit, highest dimension possible, or the maximum deviation is 0.03. So 25 plus 0.03 is equal to 25.03 is the upper limit of this particular size, basic size 25 mm. The lower limit will be 25 plus 0.01. 25 plus 0.01. 25.01 is the lower limit. So from here to here is the lower limit. That lower limit is 25.01. Lower limit is 25 plus 0.01. 25 plus 0.01 is equal to 25.01. 25.01 is the lower limit. Then the tolerance will be the difference between the upper limit and the lower limit. So this 25.03 minus 25.01 is equal to 0.02 is the tolerance. 0.02 mm is the tolerance. So this distance is 0.02, distance between higher limit and lower limit. Okay, from up to here, from datum line, reference line to this point, that is the higher limit, and from datum line to this point, this line, that is the lower limit, and the difference is 0.02 mm, that is the tolerance. 0.2 mm, 02 mm is the tolerance, and this is the tolerance zone. So this is the lower limit and this is the higher limit, and the space between the higher limit and the lower limit is the tolerance zone, and the difference is the tolerance. The space between the higher limit and lower limit is the tolerance zone, but the difference between the higher limit and the lower limit is the tolerance. Only difference, only magnitude is the tolerance. But when we say tolerance zone, we must specify the higher limit as well as the lower limit. The exact location has to be specified when we talk about the tolerance zone. Now the next is the upper deviation. So the upper deviation is 0.03. This is 0.03 is the upper deviation. So this is the tolerance zone from the zero line to the highest point, to the maximum point, that is the upper deviation, to the point of maximum variation, that is the upper deviation. So this is the upper deviation 0.03, because here we are written 0.03 mm is the upper deviation. Now what is the lower deviation? Lower deviation is 0.01 mm. 0.01 mm is the lower deviation. So this distance represents the lower deviation. This is the lower deviation 0.01 mm. Here also 0.01 mm, it is written as the lower deviation. So we can study some more examples. A shaft of dimension 25 plus or minus 0.02 indicates that upper limit will be 25 plus 0.02. So if this is the zero line, this red color line is the zero line, and this is the tolerance zone. Okay, so up to this zero line the dimension is 25. From datum line to zero line, dimension is, basic size is 25. Okay, and the upper limit will be 25 plus 0.02. From here to here distance is 0.02. So 25.02 mm is the upper limit, and the lower limit is 25 minus 0.02. Again this is 0.02 below the zero line. So we are subtract 25 minus 0.02, that is 24.98 mm is nothing but the lower limit, and therefore tolerance will be equal to upper limit minus lower limit. 25.02 is the upper limit, 24.98 is the lower limit, that difference is 0.04 mm, that is the tolerance. So this from here to here the distance is 0.04 mm, that is the tolerance zone. So tolerance is 0.04 mm. Okay, that means 0.02 below the zero line and 0.02 mm above the zero line, total is 0.04 mm, that is the tolerance, and basic size is given as 25 mm. This 25 mm is the basic size from this datum line to the zero line, that distance is 25 mm, which indicate the basic size, because the zero line will indicate the basic size. And upper deviation is 0.02 mm, upper deviation is 0.02 mm, whereas lower deviation is minus 0.02 mm, because it is below the zero line. Therefore lower deviation we are taking minus 0.02 mm. Another example, the dimension of the shaft is 25 plus 0.02 minus 0.01. So minus 0.01 and plus 0.02 is the tolerance zone specified. So it indicates that upper limit will be 25 plus 0.02. This is the basic size, zero line indicating basic size. So up to from datum line to this line the dimension is 25. So 25 plus 0.02 is the upper limit or the maximum size. So that is 25.02 mm, and the lower limit is 25 minus 0.01 mm, that is 24.99 mm. So from this datum line to this line the distance will be 24.99 mm, that is the lower limit or minimum dimension. and therefore tolerance will be equal to 25.02 minus 24.99 is equal to 0.03 mm. That is the tolerance. So distance from this point to this point, this is 0.03 mm. So out of this 0.03, this much, that is from here to 0 line, is 0.01, and from 0 line to this maximum point it is 0.02 mm, and total is 0.03 mm. That is the tolerance. So upper deviation in this case is 0.02 mm, this is 0.02 mm upper deviation, and this is lower deviation is minus 0.01 mm. Now this is one more figure which will indicate the similar tolerances or similar definitions, but here we are having the hole as well as the shaft. So we have seen that hole indicate the internal dimension, whereas the shaft indicate the external dimension. So hole means a component which is hollow from inside. So we are interested to measure the inside dimensions. But when we say shaft, we are measuring the outside dimensions. The outer dimensions are measured in case of shaft. So what is common with the hole and shaft is the datum line or the reference line. Datum line or reference line is common. Then the zero line representing the basic size is also common. It is same for hole as well as shaft, and therefore the basic size is also same for hole as well as shaft. So this is the basic size from datum line or reference line to the zero line. This is the basic size for the hole, and here also this is the basic size for the shaft also, though hole is written here, but this is the basic size for hole as well as shaft. The basic size is same, the datum line or reference line is same, the zero line is also same for hole as well as shaft. But what is different here? This is the tolerance zone. This tolerance zone is lying above the zero line in this case. So we have, this is the minimum limit of hole and this is the maximum limit of hole. So this is the tolerance zone, which is the difference between maximum limit and the minimum limit. This is the tolerance zone, or this distance, this difference is the tolerance. Now this is the shaft. So this is the minimum limit for shaft, minimum dimension for shaft. This is the maximum dimension for shaft. Difference between maximum and minimum is the tolerance, and the exact location is the tolerance zone. So tolerance zone is specified by the value of maximum limit as well as minimum limit of the shaft in this case, right? So this was about the hole and the